interactions that is, become more intimate over time. But many people would never go to the second or third tier. Yeah, so first tier is chat, second tier is warp. Like warp could be seen as stalking, so like that's ability you really want to think if you want to give to a friend or not. Then there's like a little bit like play fight, that things can be interpreted as aggressive, but will be totally acceptable for close friends, will all come in a much higher trust level. So the higher the entry barrier is, the nicer the people behave socially when they finally enter it. I don't know why, that's just humanity, I think. All right, the third lesson is, once you build a relationship, you want to protect the authenticity of the relationship. Gamification on relationship tend to erode trust and turn relationship into toxic behaviors. Number one is you don't want to mix relationship with rewards. It's like friends with benefits or with profits. That's usually don't go well. And internally, we are talking about designers. Like the players should be motivated to spend time with one another because it feels good, not because they have to or because they have something to unlock. In the early days, we were trying all kinds of mechanics. We're trying to nudging the player to become friends with each other. What happened is, in the rainforest, we have the rain that's harmful for your health. And so we have umbrellas. We designed a puzzle where if two friends come, they can pray at the shrine. They will get the umbrella for both players. We thought that's such a great idea because it would encourage friends to visit together. But what happened is, two strangers will come to the shrine. They both want the umbrella. So they added each other. They become friends right there. They get the umbrella, and they break apart. And the next morning, they log online. Who is this person? They forgot. They forgot this person even existed. And then they told me they feel disgusted looking at their friend list, not knowing who are these people. And that was like one of the rare things. What everybody from the plate has told me, like, we don't want this. The gifts should stay as a pure gift. This is another thing we made a mistake. So in the early days, we want to encourage the gifting. So we want to show player, how to say, like you can potentially earn hearts by befriending someone else. So heart gift was a byproduct, or it's like a bonus. If you level up your relationship, you get more hearts. But people love heart as a resources, so they want to farm hearts. So we start to see the heart bagger epidemic. So anywhere, it's like, go to any of the train stations or the airport, outside there will be people waiting for you. Hey, you want to be friends? I'm really cute. Let's be friends. And you will just be hoggled by these cute little chibi characters, because usually they get more interest. And they just want to level up relationship to riff the heart out of you. And that was getting so bad, like everywhere people is trying to be cute and attractive, but once they get the heart, they disappear. So we have to remove it, right? A gift has to be a pure gift. There's no additional benefits there. And the second thing is, don't tutorialize your relationship with free gifts. Like many games, online games, like to tutorialize. They will give you free currencies, and then you will apply it. You go through the drill and understand how the system works. But in our early prototype, the player will get a free gift every day. They can give out to other people to see what happens. And what happened is, even though the gift is free, the player expectation is not free. If you are giving someone a free gift every day, the day you don't give them the gift, they will like, hey, where's my gift? It's supposed to be free. You're supposed to give to me, right? And it becomes actually toxic. That's just the most weird thing. It's like if you have let's say a homeless person right on the street, and you give them a dollar every Sunday. And on the next Sunday, you didn't give the dollar, they will come to harass you and say, like, where's my dollar? That's just human nature somehow. But it actually backfired for our community. And our player really disliked those people harassing them for free gifts. So eventually we shifted back. Instead of trying to teach social systems by offering player-free currencies to apply on real players, we decided to offer them currencies they can apply on the NPC. So at least NPC don't harass you. And they can still teach you the same systems without making the community toxic. And another one I want to say is like, you need darkness to show light. When we first jumped into Sky, we were very, we were very progressive. People hate pay to win, so we want to do the opposite of pay to win, right? We noticed that if you pay in a pay to win game, a lot of times you don't want to tell people that you spend lots of money just to beat other people, because you know you're cheating. Like there's a little bit of shame about buying things for yourself. But we found out that if you pay it for the people you love, usually they're very proud to tell you, hey, I took my family to Disneyland this weekend, right? I have this big diamond ring for my, fiance or whatever, right? It's like people are usually not shameful if it's about giving to someone they care about. So initially we were like, okay, let's go 100%. Everything has to be altruistic and everything has to be giving. So we implement a society where you cannot buy anything. And the only thing you can get is if someone gives you something. And that society runs like a paradise for quite a while. I was very happy. Look at how all these people giving each other. But very quickly, I started to find out everybody's like doing the, you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. Hey, I gifted you yesterday, where's my gift? You're supposed to give it back to me. And lots of people are actually very toxic about their expectation was not met by the other person. And that was quite eye-opening when we tried it, because we were like, we can control the system, we can change the feedback, but humanity doesn't work like a machine, they are human. And so we realized that if you don't have a system where you actually can buy something for your self-interest, then when someone gives you a gift, you are second-guessing. Your question, is that gift even is genuine? Or are they just simply expecting you to give back to them something? So eventually, when we launched the game, we had to include things that people can buy for themselves, just so that when they choose to buy it for a friend, the friend could trust that is a genuine gift. And that was a very big change when we were doing the design. So what we want is a genuine gift, not just gifting economy. And so today in Sky, you can buy things for yourself. You can also buy things for your friends. When we did the season pass, we did a slight discount. So if you buy it for your friends, it's cheaper. And it certainly made a lot of people decide to buy the season pass together. So 40% of the season pass was bought and sent as gifts. With the event content, that's 100% the same price. You can buy it for yourself, you can buy it for your friend. And 22% of the content people purchase are actually for others. So to me, that is a genuine gift to each other. And one last thing I want to talk about is genuine human connections could save lives. When we work on Journey, we realize vulnerability really leads to human compassion. This is a very social behavior of many social animals. It's a survival instinct. When you are weak and small, you have to rely on working with each other to survive, right? So when the predator, they go around, they are strong and powerful. They usually hang out alone. But sometimes even the big cats, they would work together. And that's only when their prey is even more strong, right? And it's the feeling of risk and the feeling of smallness makes us bond with each other. And the very emotion of awe and vulnerability is what made us human, because we are such a weak animal if we are alone. And that makes us really want to belong, right? These days, one of the biggest depression we feel in the society is the loneliness, that we don't feel we belong to something that's meaningful. And a lot of the friendships and connections are not genuine. It's the surface level things. And just the yearning to belong to something bigger is the most human feeling of them all. And when you don't have this feeling of vulnerability and humble smallness, when you feel really big, we go back to the gamer behavior, right? You're the Space Marine, you're the Superman, you're the hero that can change the world. And they stop thinking about connecting with others. And so if we want to make an online community less toxic, we have to rethink about gaming experience. We have to reduce the empowerment online. You know, instead of making games where you just go around killing things, make things much stronger you just can't kill. Instead of going around looting for treasures and resources or finding monsters, you go around running to other people. And people are more important than gold coins. In a battlefield, it's very hard to focus on people because the sound, the distraction. So, you know, in order for games where people can connect, you have to reduce the noise. You have to reduce the number of people. You have to put them in an environment they feel small and, you know, a little bit vulnerable. And suddenly, if you see another person, you're like, oh my God, there's another person, right? Instead of walking on Times Square and just people all pass by you and you're just trying to ignore all of them. So for Journey, we really tested this idea of creating the world that evokes a sense of awe and vulnerability. And the result shows. It creates empathy and compassion between the players. These are the fan arts, again, of the memorable moments, what they had in the game, is when they supported each other, is when they leave a message for each other. And once you're creating this compassionate moment, a genuine human connection will form. And that leads to inclusive and supportive community. So what is a genuine human connection? It's a vulnerable interactions between two people that they feel heard, seen, and known, and valued after the communication. And afterwards, they feel better about themselves and feel better about the world. I'm just going to summarize this genuine human connection. It's, you know, it's one of the few things I really believe is generally good for human. And, you know, when we created Sky, one of the emotions I really want to evoke is that we are not alone. And I think most of the artists who make art, they want to connect with people through their art. And in this process, if the art connects with them, there's an overwhelming sense of gratitude between the artist and the viewer. And I think this overwhelming gratitude I felt is also inspiring, you know, our creation, and we want to give it back to the players. It's a very healthy cycle of reciprocation. When we launched Sky in 2019, we got a letter within a few months. A 67-year-old grandma from Hawaii who never played games was cried and moved by the game, and she told us, you know, she doesn't want to be alone anymore, and she's still a person of love. And you know, that's the same age as my mother-in-law, who also came from Hawaii. So it really, and eventually my mother-in-law also became a Sky player and find friendships. It's these stories that really makes me feel happy that working on the games that we make. There's this manga, a Japanese, very talented manga artist. She make usually funny mangas, but one day she made this manga for us. She said she actually tried to hurt herself in the real life multiple times. She was really thinking about throwing her life away. But when she discovered Sky, she felt the warmth from many friends she made in the Sky community that for the current moment that she chose to live. And she's only 20 years old. I really don't understand why a talented artist, you know, at her golden age would think about throwing her life away. Yeah. And during the Ukraine and Russian war, we were really concerned because we have players from both worlds. both nations. And when they run into each other, instead of having a fight in the game, they actually really supported each other. They see each other as victims of the war, and they still stay contacted today. And I want to show you just one last thing. This is from the concert of Aurora. When there's 4,000 people can view this, the concert together. But when we give this tool to our player, when they have the control to tell each other what to do, together they were able to perform something that's just really beautiful and moving. They decide to come together without any of the problem. We didn't tell people to do this, but they decided to do it together with each other. Instead of competing or fighting, they're here to create art. I've just never thought a gaming community could be more amazing. So to conclude, how do you keep your online interaction positive? First, just remember, players are not born toxic. We are all capable to being a good citizen and treat each other with compassion. So really just focusing on your design to highlight that bright part of humanity. Number two, don't give players social powers. No shotguns for babies, right? They have to earn their trust. And that's how the real society works, and I don't understand why online games don't do that. And number three, if you build a relationship, don't ruin the authenticity with gameplay mechanics. Gamification don't work with relationships. It needs to be genuine. And try to build genuine human connections in your community. It will save lives. And we are game designers. We're thinking about how to change people's behavior in our games. But I don't see why we couldn't think about how real-world institutions can be designed to promote human values rather than destroy them. And if you can make it work in the virtual world, I don't see why it wouldn't work in the real life. So TGC, is a company that started 18 years ago, trying to make games to tell heartwarming stories for all ages. But today we have to change it because it's an online game now, right? We have to inspire humans to connect worldwide. Thank you, and we are also hiring. Yeah.